Motor Week is made possible by TireRack.com, State Farm, and WeatherTech.
While Mazda, like every other car maker these days, sells more utility vehicles than cars, they seem to embrace the car-like aspects of them more than most, continuing to deliver some of the most fun-to-drive crossovers out there. Still, competition is intense, especially for compact-sized people movers, and that's where this redesigned CX-5 is now playing so well. So let's see why it's giving major rivals a headache. The 2017 Mazda CX-5 kicks off the second generation of Mazda's compact crossover. Though technically still riding on the same chassis, it has been heavily revised front to back with aims to provide a smoother ride as well as more comfort and quietness in the cabin. Of course, Mazda is also relying on electronics to do a lot of the yeoman work now as well, with new G vectoring control vehicle dynamics enhancement. Unlike most in the segment, no turbo power here, a straight 2.5-liter naturally aspirated i4. But there are 3 more horsepower than before at 187. Torque remains the same at 185 pound-feet, but new software helps it feel a bit more responsive than before. That's even with an additional 60 or so pounds of weight. No more manual transmission, as the 6-speed automatic is now standard, but all-wheel drive remains optional. Towing capacity is only 2,000 pounds. Government fuel economy ratings take a slight dip as the city rating falls from 24 to 23 for all-wheel drive. The rest are unchanged at 29 highway and 26 combined. Our average was right on at 26.7 miles per gallon of regular. The energy impact score remains above average at 12.7 barrels of annual oil consumption with emissions of 5.8 tons of CO2. Bodywork is obviously new now with a clear resemblance to the larger CX-9. That means a larger grille, taller, flatter nose, and full LED headlight standard. The roofline has more of an arch to it, while the back end is smoothed out and highlighted with dual polished exhaust tips. Likewise, the interior takes on the CX-9 theme as well, perhaps not quite as posh, but certainly a big step up from before. The same basic Mazda infotainment system is here too, and does the basics well, but secondary things require a lot of menu hopping. Hopping in the rear seat, you'll find a little more room than before, though that's at the expense of cargo space, which falls from 34.1 cubic feet to 30.9. 3-piece split folding seat backs can expand that space to 59.6 cubic feet. All of the chassis work pays off with a much quieter ride. It's now quite pleasant, easily one of the best riding in its class. And don't worry, it's still plenty of fun to drive. Steering dynamics are good, but there isn't a naturally fake heavy feel to the wheel. Suspension feels nice and tight. Seat comfort is okay, but not great. And the central armrest sits too far back to be useful. Things sure do look great in here, though. Response off the line is only adequate. Sport mode does seem to let you rev the engine a little higher with a nice aggressive engine note. The trip to 60 took a reasonable 8.5 seconds, with our quarter-mile time coming in at 16.5 seconds at 85 miles per hour. The CX-5 is well balanced through the cones as well. The aforementioned G vectoring control is quite novel. It cuts ignition spark on turn-in, using engine braking to shift weight to the front tires for more grip, rather than momentarily engaging the wheel brakes like some competitors. Tests show it also makes occupants feel more secure on twisty roads. When it does come time to actually use the brakes, a short 113 foot was our average stopping distance from 60. Pedal feel is soft with some fade, but overall performance is above average. In addition, Smart City brake support automatic braking is now standard on all models. Base pricing is par for the segment at $24,985, with top trim Grand Touring going for $30,335. All-wheel drive can be added for $1,300 more. Despite being one of the most fun-to-drive compact crossovers, first-gen CX-5 sales never really caught fire. So it was clear to Mazda that as much as they and we love good-handling SUVs, comfort and serenity are more important to most crossover buyers. The good news for us is the second-gen 2017 Mazda CX-5 keeps the fun factor high, yet delivers a much more pleasant and refined driving experience. The good news for Mazda, CX-5 sales are finally hot.